Hey guys, today we're doing a video where our interns are gonna shoot on film for the first time, film photography. So Evelyn here has never shot film before. So we're gonna kind of set up a couple of interesting scenarios and fun scenarios from the shoot. It's not like they're just shooting like their dog in the backyard. Not that that's not fun, but we're gonna do something interesting. So we have Alysa here, AKA Britney Spears, who's going to be the model. We're gonna do like a Britney Spears Oops, I Did It Again shoot. So we try to make something exciting for Evelyn to do. Chopra couldn't be here because he's Chopra. So he's gonna do something else later in the video, but Evelyn gets to do the most fun thing, so.
We're doing things by code here.
Shelly's just here to make sure that we're doing everything right and just kind of teach Evelyn some pointers. Also, Shelly's like a great film photographer, so she's probably better to show her what to do than I am. I'm just facilitating. But I mean, I know how to do stuff, but Shelly's smart, so it'll be good. So Evelyn, you've never shot film before?
No, never.
Do you have any idea how to do it or anything about it?
No, no idea.
So this is a good experience. So I don't want to be, not nice, but we brought Shelly along too, so she could shoot pictures, and I'm gonna shoot pictures, but we brought Shelly along so she can shoot pictures for Alyssa, just in case none of these come out. So we didn't have Alyssa for nothing. We just had a backup. You can't just bring Alyssa here and do all the big shebang with this outfit and then get 0 results, which is a possibility of the film, but you'll do great. It'll be our fault if you mess up, let's just say that.
It makes me actually feel better.
Yeah, it's less pressure,
there's
right?
More people here, so.
Yeah.
I've never filmed with models before. I've never shot models before, so I think having Shelly here to help me, be a backup for photography while also helping me learn about professionalism is like a big safety to fall back on. It makes me feel a lot better about it. So I know I'm gonna learn a lot because her stuff is always amazing and models have great things to say about her, so I'm excited.
Boy, do they. So we got Alyssa here.
Hello, let's go.
So she's a big Britney Spears fan, so we thought who better to wear the most iconic Britney outfit. And so we got it, there's someone on Etsy that actually takes measurements and makes it custom. So it's like perfect, which is crazy. So I think it's important to always like put a little investment into either like the set or the outfit or whatever you're doing on the model side too. Because a lot of times, I'm sure Shelly knows this too, but some photographers will just say, just show up and just wear, whatever. And it's like, well, what's your vision? And like, what, at least give them an idea. So we had a very specific idea in this case. So we're gonna do Britney things. So how long have you liked Britney Spears, or loved Britney Spears?
So let me tell you, 1998, I was 2 years old, heard Baby One More Time for the first time, completely changed my life. Unforgettable. I've been a fan ever since. Die Hard. We remember 2007, it was fine. We're past it now. This is the future, free Britney.
Shelly is just gonna tell us a little bit about how to be respectful and professional with a model. Take it away, Shelly.
Yes, I think the most important thing when working with models is representing them in a respectful way. You don't want to take photos of models while they're in like a compromising position, like if they're in between movements and they're like kind of, I don't know, that can make models uncomfortable. So making sure to take photos of them in a respectful way and keeping them in mind and how they want to be represented. And the biggest way that I have found to do that is to communicate with the model beforehand. So before you even start shooting, before you even start anything, ask them what they're comfortable with, kind of get an idea of where they're at. Because some models like to do, the crazy wild poses, and then some models are going to be just like kind of more insular. So yeah, getting an idea of that so you're not asking them to do things that they're uncomfortable with. Yeah. So just representing them in an authentic and respectful way. Before we actually do it, I'll just walk you through what's happening here. Okay. So this is the rewind lever. So when the film is done, you're going to wind it this way. Mm-hmm. But to release this film door, you just take this and you pop it up.
Okay.
So while there's film in there, don't ever pop that up because it'll ruin the film. Mm-hmm. So pop the film door open. So your film roll is going to go here and you're going to stretch it out here. And then the little tail you're going to tuck in there. So that's the thing that grips the film. So then when you do this, that's what's going to move it for you. Mm-hmm. So watch this opens up.
Okay.
For like a split second.
Right.
So then this is you advancing the film. And then, so.
You feel that one more time.
Okay. And see how it like opens for that
Right.
split second? That's the shutter being open. So
Okay.
that's what's actually like exposing the film. So go ahead and take that. So there's your roll of film here. So it's gonna go in this way. So this thing, you see that there's the little, that's what's gonna hold it in place. So make sure that's up. So you're gonna put this in there like this. And then this, you're gonna stretch across. And then you're gonna tuck it in to this little hole here. So I'll just show you and then you can do it. So this, you tuck it into the little hole.
It's like Polaroid.
Yeah, kinda. And then you can just make sure it grips the film this way. So see how it's cool. So I don't know if we can get it back. All right, so anyway,
Yeah.
I guess that's how you do it. I guess I just showed you, but
I understand.
so yeah. So this film, since it's already been exposed to light, this isn't gonna produce a picture. So once we close it, so go ahead and shut it. And then you're gonna push that down and then close, you could just flip that open. So now the first like 2 frames are gonna be nothing. They're blank since they were exposed to light. So go ahead and just take the frames with the shutter button. And then go ahead and wind it. And then take one more just to be
Do I need to
safe.
push this back or leave it?
You could leave it, but I just usually.
Okay.
And then go ahead and wind it again. And then you should be good. So after that, you're good. So this is ISO 400 film. So your ISO is fixed. So you can't move that
Right.
at all. So that's like the key component that you have to work around is whatever ISO film you have. Your shutter speed and your aperture, those are what you can move around. Some film cameras, this is nice because it goes up to 1/1000 shutter speed.
Yeah.
My Hasselblad only goes to 1/500. So yeah, you'll kind of play with those. Since we're taking portraits, you'll probably want to be on 2.8 or 4 because that'll give you some nice bokeh in the background. And it's not dark in here, but it's lower lighting. So this you'll probably want to be, so then we'll just have to figure out what the exposure is here. And to do that, a simple tip in the meantime is if you have a digital camera to just check, like set your settings and then check on the digital camera because that'll be, that's what it's gonna look
Okay.
like here. So we'll have you get the digital camera, we'll have you test your settings. So most 35mm film cameras have a meter inside. You'll like change around your settings and if you look through
You
there,
gotta hold it halfway down.
okay. Yeah, you'll be able to see if it's exposed or not. We're not gonna use the internal meter just because we're gonna try with the digital and phone method.
See how it shows the numbers on the right side?
Yeah.
So it's dark right now, so it'll probably be at 1.8 or whatever. It's saying like, if you're looking into, or if I'm bright,
Yeah. 1.8.
yeah.
1.
So that's telling you what your aperture needs to be based on what your shutter is set to, basically.
And with
Okay.
the ISO. Is that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from my
But it
experience,
works. Oh, sorry, you said what you were
sorry,
gonna say.
it's okay. From my experience, the most foolproof method with exposing film is to check on a digital camera because then you're directly seeing it. And then either the phone app or, and then I guess what would be next? I guess an external
Yeah, light meter, probably.
Yeah, and then, so next would be an external light meter. We don't have one of those. So then the internal meter you could check or with the phone apps. And you could always combine multiple ones just to double check your exposure. But we're gonna do the digital camera method just to make sure we get some pictures from this.
So this is my camera. So I actually know, so it takes a battery. The battery door is kind of messed up on it, so that's why I have it taped over like that. But I know that so you have to go on it, you just look up the camera type and you find the battery on Amazon and they just sell it for like $8 or something, so it's really no big deal. But I've shot a lot on this camera, so I actually know the meter works, but we're just gonna not use it because we just wanna be absolutely certain. But I've shot a ton on this. That's why I'm wanting Evelyn to use this, but I'd recommend if you've never shot a camera before to absolutely use the digital or an app or the light meter because you just don't know if it's messed up or, because these are older cameras, you're just not sure. But I've ran a lot of film through this, so I know that it works fine. So if I was shooting it, I'd just trust it and it's close enough. But since we're doing like a real shoot, it can't hurt to just test it. And then, so right now we have a 24mm lens on here. It's pretty wide, but I think for the setting we're in, just so Evelyn doesn't have to frame a lot of stuff out because she has to worry about the ceiling or like the lights or this other kind of mini set we have here. We're just gonna go with a 50 1.8 because it's just gonna make it more focused on the subject and the model, just to make it easier. And I just recommend overall, if you're starting out in photography, they say that like a 50 millimeter lens is kind of like what your eyes see, like the field of view of your eyes, more or less. So it's kind of like a natural, people say it's like the most natural or one of the most natural kind of lenses. So it's a good place to start out. I'm kind of in the artsy, fartsy, 24 real wide and close movie kind of style stuff, but we're gonna go with the 50 for Evelyn here. So here, let's have you do it. So this button right here to take it off. Yep. And same as like the other cameras, just look for the red, so the red dot, and just hit them up and just twisty. Sweet. So now look through that and just see the difference. And obviously you gotta set the aperture, the aperture might be down, but. So you had her advance the film and everything. Yep. Did you kind of did you give the tip of like, if you're first starting out to just advance?
Oh yeah, while it's open. Yeah.
Just to be sure that it advanced. Yeah. So you said that?
Yeah,
okay,
so
cool.
we saw.
Okay, great. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that is a big thing. Yeah, if you feel nervous, because there's lots of times where I have personally loaded 35 millimeter film and loaded it incorrectly. So at the end of my roll, I open it up and I never shot any photos at all. While you have the back open, if you advance like we were doing and you see the film rolling, then you know it's properly loaded. And you might waste a couple photos that way, but it's worth it instead of getting no photos.
Yeah, I totally agree that it's worth wasting a couple photos in the roll. You know, you get 34 instead of 36 or whatever, but you get all your photos you thought you took. So that's a little piece of advice. But if you're really confident, then some people just do it. But like if you're just starting out, I'd recommend just seeing it advance, you know, once or twice, and just it's wasted, but you know, it saves you in the long run. So you can actually get like more than 36 maybe if you really like just immediate. So you load it and then you just like don't advance it. It's kind of extra in there, so because it builds that into it where you advance it and see it. But some people can get more photos out of a roll because they're like just getting it in there and then immediately shooting like and not advancing it. So
I used to get 38 on my Ricoh because it was the kind that like unloaded the whole thing and then it loaded it back in.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
All right, so I think we're gonna shoot now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
So the first question we're gonna ask our model is about her experience, how much experience she has with modeling, her comfort. So yeah, what is your experience with modeling?
So I actually modeled from the time I was like 12 to 18. I worked for an agency at some point and then it just kind of didn't really pan out. So right now I'm just ready to do any and everything. I'm ready to dance.
Awesome, cool. Is there anything specific that you feel uncomfortable with being photographed? Like some people are uncomfortable, like they feel self-conscious about their arms or like stuff like that. Is there anything specific that we should look out for when photographing you?
Honestly, yeah, like I'm someone who has like a square chin, so I'm very touchy on like, I just don't want like a double chin or like if I have like, I would like a jawline that cuts diamonds in the pictures if possible. Not always possible, but if we can, that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And see, that's good information to know. So now when you're shooting, if you notice something that the model states that they're insecure about, adjust them.
Yeah.
And also before I shoot with models, I tell them I'm going to help adjust you verbally throughout the shoot. So if you're in a pose, I might say like chin up a little, stuff like that. Just so you know that you're not doing anything wrong. I'm just adjusting from my perspective, from the camera's perspective.
So Shelly's talking about verbally adjusting models. I personally would highly recommend against physically adjusting people, unless it's like someone you really know and you're like on that level with them. But like if you're just meeting someone, I would not do that.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, that's a big thing. If you're like on a big set and there's like a hairdresser, they are going to be the ones that go and adjust the hair of the model during. But if you're just a photographer and a model on set, don't touch them. And if there's something, if they're in like an insane pose that you don't want them to break and then their hair just needs adjusted, always ask and respect. If they delay, that's a no. So unless it's a yes, then it's a no. Okay. So do you have any questions about the film process or the film camera itself?
Yeah, I think that a lot of it is going to be like, I'll pick it up when I'm actually doing it, like practice, not theory. But after every picture, I like wind this back and move it. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the shutter button. So that's like the actual shutter opening up inside the camera. And then this is the advance lever. So this is what actually physically moves the film
Okay.
to the next frame.
That makes sense.
Because otherwise you just shoot all your pictures on one thing. And that might be cool, but
Is there any like other buttons that I haven't like pointed at?
so yeah, your rewind button. Where's the rewind button on this?
On the bottom.
Okay. So this is going to be your rewind button. So once we shoot all the photos, to rewind the film, you're going to press that button in. So don't do it now. You're going to press the button in and then rewind via this little lever here. So essentially all of your film is coming out of the roll while you're shooting it. So then you have to put it back in the roll to protect it from light. So yeah, it's in the roll to start with. It comes out and it spools over here. And then once you're done, you have to wind it back.
Like a VHS.
Like a VHS.
Okay. What are these numbers here?
So that's the ISO, yeah.
That's the ISO.
Yes,
So that's 400.
Yes, that's how you set your ISO.
Okay.
And that's for the meter purpose and also so you remember what film you have in there.
And does this button move that?
Yeah, it releases it and then you can slide it left or right or whatever.
Okay. Well, I won't touch
So
that.
what some people do too, just as a fun thing, is they'll cut out on their film, they'll cut out the 400 and put the little, like in the box and just put it right here so they remember that there's 400, but it's also here. But some people that's what that window is kind of for.
Yeah.
Because it could be 400 black and white or 400 color. So yeah, that's
Or you just want to remember even what type. There's a bunch of different types of film, so it's valuable. I don't really care, but that's what it's there for.
We only shoot portrait 400 in this house. Aperture is changed here, this little guy. So you change your aperture here. And then this is your focus. And then this is your shutter speed.
Got it. What is it on? It's on 125 right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is honestly probably what it's going to be at for this. And then this B is called bulb. So that's if you want to keep it open like forever, like you're doing astrophotography or something, you can hook a little remote up. So that's just like, bulb means like there's no limit. So you can just have a remote and just keep it open.
Or you can also hold the button. Like you can just hold the button. Bulb is like you can hold the shutter for as long as your finger can hold it if you don't have a trigger.
Yeah. So yeah, our fixed setting here is our ISO. We can't change the ISO of the film. So I am gonna set this to 400 and that's just gonna be what it is. So your lens, the smallest aperture is 1.8. You'll probably want to shoot at 2.8 just because it'll be a little bit easier for you to focus. So let's start with our aperture at 2.8 just to see, what that gives us. So then we're gonna take the camera, we're gonna look, and you see in the live view how it's automatically adjusting with our shutter speed. So we're gonna see what looks good. So a big difference with digital versus film. Digital, I mean, you have a lot of latitude with film, but if something is underexposed, your shadows, you can't really bring it back. So if your shadows are underexposed, they're gone. So a lot of people will overexpose film slightly or kind of just meter for the shadows to make sure they're not gone. So that's something to keep in mind. But with raw images on digital, you can kind of bring highlights and shadows back. So you kind of less worried about that. So I am at 1/125 shutter speed, and this is looking pretty good here. We'll try to pay attention to where our shadows are. The background back there is going to be a little bit dark, but I think that's a look. But we want to make sure that the model's face is fully lit up, and she doesn't have any, weird shadows on her face or anything. So I will just take a test image of these settings. I'm just going to take a test image, and yeah, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna set those settings on the film camera. So we're gonna go 2.8 on our aperture, and then shutter speed 1/125, which is kind of what you were already at. So, but yeah, so we took our test image. This is roughly what it's gonna look like here. So yeah, feel pretty good. Cool. Okay, now we've shot all our shots, and I think I touched on this earlier, but this is really important to not open the back before you rewind the film, or else it'll just ruin all the things you just did. So to rewind it, we're going to take our rewind button on the bottom, and you're just going to hold that. So here, I'll explain while you do it. So hold your rewind button on the bottom, and then you're going to flip this guy up, and then you can start rewinding. This way. From here. So then you're gonna open the film back like earlier. Perfect. And you just pull it up, make sure it's open. Here, you might pull it up again. There you go. Sure. Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, that's it.
My first roll of film.
Wow.
They give you not even a plastic, they give you a metal one.
Look at the good shit.
Yeah.
So now it's been like 10 years. We're going to have Evelyn react for the first time to her photos, which I got in like September, and it is now January. So she's gonna check it out now. Okay, you got it. You can
Ooh. Okay.
look at the focus. You're in focus.
At her hair, shoulder, jaw. Like, okay. I like that one.
It's nice. That one's good.
That's good.
It's in focus. That's like half the battle.
I felt blind with that in my hand. See?
Yeah,
Yep.
focus. That's good, though.
Well,
That's nice. That's in focus. Fun.
that one's cute. I like that one.
Yeah, that came out nice.
Her hair is so pretty.
Yeah, it's nice. That's nice. That's sharp.
Mm-hmm.
All your exposure is pretty spot on. It's all pretty good. That one might be a little hot, but it's
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's high key. It's nice. Yeah. That's one of the better ones.
I loved all the pictures where she had her hands like in the front so that we could do like a, I don't know, that also helped me with getting focused because I had like a
reference point.
Yeah.
You kind of see where it moved from.
and that one, it's like one of my favorites. Ooh.
Fun. Nice. Sharp. There's a tack.
I like that one. This one I like because it's the other one where the light was, behind. But it showed on the top of her head, but it was still a bit overexposed, so it wasn't like as nice. But this one's nice because it's not really.
I like just the way this like shines. Like that highlight shines. It's nice. It's money.
It's a little canted, but
You fix it in post. That's nothing. As long as it's in focus, you can do it. You can do anything you want. That's nice.
her arm is very in focus. It's funny. God, she was sitting with that TV on her lap. That must have been so uncomfortable, especially in latex. That one's cool. I like that one. These are cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, they're mostly in focus. They're all well exposed. It's like, what do you want, folks? It's your first time doing it.
Winner.
Yeah, that one's money.
Ooh.
That one's cool. And you got her in a good moment. Most like you're not missing the like her eyes aren't, you know, like there's a lot of good moment. You're not in like an awkward position. You know, she's like in a pretty decent position all like in all the photos.
Yeah, I know some people might look at this and see all the flyaways or like the hair is kind of like a weird, but I love how it gives her like a halo more. And
That's nice. That's really good.
I like that one.
That's cool.
I like that one.
That's nice.
That one's really cool.
Like the eyes closed actually. It's nice.
She does ballet hands.
Nice. Sharp, right up close. Nice. Nice. I like it's a little blurry. That one's kind of cool. Other than the weird dude on the screen.
Yeah. I like that one.
That's good.
I like that one a lot. I like that her hands are like, one hand's in focus, one hand isn't.
Yeah, her face is definitely focused.
I like seeing the motion. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
That's nice.
That one's nice.
That's fun.
That red background, it's doing a lot.
Yeah, it was cool.
All good things. Is that it? Okay. Yay! Finally seeing them. Only took 10 years.
Yeah, you did good though.
They came out a lot better than I thought they would as I was taking the pictures. I like seeing how they came out. And especially since it had been such a long time since doing this, I like kind of forgot about the photo shoot, like not about the photo shoot, but how I felt during it and like what I was doing during it. So seeing it now, it's kind of like, oh, I remember that picture. I remember getting that shot and thinking like, okay, well, I can't see it, but I think it's gonna be good. Like it felt good. And then seeing that it actually is pretty good is like, it's nice. So,
Yeah, there's some good stuff. You did good. Your percentage of good is, you got plenty to choose from.
yay.
It's good.
No press.